Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Well, today we're talking about a very important topic. I'm joined by Simon and Cindy from Carolina Forest Elementary School. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Great.
Wonderful. Now, you both work in education, but you also are co-authors of a book. Tell me about this book.
Okay, so this book is Adapting Behavior Practices, Reframing Your Approach to Discipline. And we, for the past 5 years, the two of us have been working together with behavior a lot. And so we just realized that getting to the root of the behavior helps tremendously, and it helps the kids not to repeat the same behavior. So we kind of came together and just thought of ways to help the kid to change the behavior.
So
Right.
who is this book for?
This book is for parents and teachers, and really for adults, because everybody gets frustrated when it comes to behavior, and they wonder, what are we going to do? And even for me as a parent, it's helpful because we tend to work with our own kids a little differently than we work with other people's kids. So, the being consistent and putting these things into practices, it's difficult because it's time consuming, but the consistency is what wins in the long run.
So can you give me some examples maybe that are in the book without spoiling too much?
Like Cindy said, a lot of kids, and I'm sure many people out here listening and yourselves can remember, when kids would come get in trouble at school, and they would get in trouble for the same things over and over and over again. So, like the front of the book shows there, some roots in the ground and a child being like a plant. When something goes wrong with your crops, you got to figure out what's wrong in the dirt, not what's on top. So once you get to that root, and it does take time, because as we say in there, it takes them a long time to get that way. It takes a long time to get them out. And gaining that trust with us or whoever they work with is the first step in getting to the root of that problem.
Yeah, and I would say definitely building the relationship. Relationships are everything. When you get the relationships with these kids, we've had a lot of kids that, just came from tough situations. And the two of us, we just team up and kind of become that safe space for them.
Right.
And they know it, and then it just helps.
Well, tell me also, for parents and other teachers who have read the book, what has been the response?
Well, for some who kind of been in education for a long time, it's like a new thing for them. It's almost like they're having to retrain their thinking and their brain. And, and I say all the time, like, this is just a new generation of kids. Like, you can't do the same thing that you did a long time ago to reach this generation, because they have so many other things coming up against them, like social media. And they just carry a lot. And so you just have to approach it a different way.
Yeah.
So.
Because everybody, wants to see old school, though.
Right.
Our grandparents' old school was a lot different than our old school, so there's always a new school coming. So we just need to adapt to that new school a little bit faster.
Right.
If we're going to be successful with our kids, and that's a hard thing for some teachers. If we can help them understand this practice, in the long run, it's going to be a smoother classroom. Their scores will be better because we're really, we like scores, but without those relationships, those scores really don't matter.
Now, Cindy, do you have another book as well?
I do. This is actually my third children's book. I'm always trying to write, because I am a counselor, giving kids tools that they can use when I'm not there, and so this book is Same Love, Different Homes, and it is about kids that are in divorce situations. And so I think out of all the books, like, this was the one that I could connect to the most, because I was that kid. And so when I wrote it, it was really rewarding for me as well. So, yeah.
So if anybody's interested in purchasing one of your books, where can they find these?
They can find them on Amazon. They're both on Amazon.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, one of my huge mottos in life is that you always deserve to have a sweet treat. And so today, I'm at Polly's Island Bakery with the owner, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to take the grand tour, so why don't you go ahead and lead the way?
Come on in.
All right, thank you.
Welcome to the bakery. We've been open almost 14 years,
Okay.
serving this community well.
And I can already tell whenever you walk in here, this is just one of those spots that people love coming by, like multiple times a week. You come and get your fix, but like, what are some of the key items that are popular here?
Oh my goodness, the breakfast sandwich is the hottest item by far. People love those, it's their daily breakfast. We have cheese danishes, we have pies, we have cookies, we have cupcakes, we have specialty desserts. Our lunch sandwiches are nice and hearty, so fills you up. It's a good spot. The most important thing is this is just a chill spot to hang out. We have so many regulars and locals that come in. We have a lot of regulars that tour here, and so for us, knowing all these different smiling faces that come by, it makes it fun for us. It's a family atmosphere. We're family operated and owned, so it's a good spot to be.
So it's Tiffany Clark. I am the cake decorator. I am also the manager.
You and your husband both work here.
Yes.
It's like a big happy family.
So it's all we've ever known.
Okay.
We worked together at the last place we were at, and that's actually where we met.
I love it. I love it.
And so when I started here in May of 2020, it was the weirdest time in our relationship that we weren't working together. And so then, yeah, November of 2020, he started working here.
Was there a moment in your life where you thought, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Or did it just serendipitously happen?
So I've always loved baking. My dad, big baking fan. I always loved doing it. I never eat it.
Interesting.
I am a pastry chef who does not eat sweets, really. I have to really, really want them. When the Culinary Institute up in Market Commons announced that they were doing a full program on baking and pastry, I originally started out wanting to do cakes, and then when I started there, I still loved to do cakes, but I enjoyed doing like chocolates and stuff like that better.
That's hard.
It's fun.
That's the tough stuff.
It's
I
fun.
mean, you can really mess up a chocolate.
Yeah, no, it's temperamental, but I like that. I like the more structure. I like cooking, but cooking is kind of like fly by the seat of your pants, whereas baking is very structured, very like to the T, exact measurements, otherwise everything comes out, and I like the control of that.
Yeah, if you've ever tried to substitute like baking soda for baking powder in a
does not
recipe,
work.
that's exactly what she's talking about. So what is your favorite type of cake to decorate?
I love doing birthday cakes for people, but my favorite would always be weddings. Just to be a part of that like biggest day of somebody's life is so special. I love what I do. They always say you never work a day in your life if you enjoy what you're doing. And I do. I do love this.
So now we're back in the kitchen.
Yeah, hanging out in the kitchen.
This is where all the breakfast sandwich magic happens,
This
right?
is where the magic happens. My main man, Tanner, right here, he likes to mix it up on the grill. There's some love put in that sandwich.
You want the dynamic to be really fun. Like you want to have fun with your employees.
Yep.
You want everybody to have a good time while they're working here.
Absolutely.
Why is that important to you?
Life is short. You want to enjoy coming to work every day. If, like Tiffany said in there, it doesn't end up being like work if you're having a good time.
Yeah.
So, and then the customers feel that too. We want the community to feel like they walked into their second home and they're just hanging out for a little while and with their good friends.
This portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Long Law Firm.
Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today I am with John Long from Law Firm. We're talking about probate.
Right.
We're getting back to basics here, right?
That's right.
What is probate and do people go through it? How does that work?
So the term probate is thrown around a lot. You know, I got a probate. So what that means is there's an office in the government, in the county government, that's responsible for essentially saying when somebody passes away and there's an asset or a liability just in that person's name, then that asset or liability has to go through the county office to determine now who's responsible for that asset or that liability.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, I die. It's easy for me to talk about my demise rather than other people, right? Sure. So let's say I have a truck and a house when I die. Well, that truck and that house, they have to go through probate because the probate office is responsible for saying, all right, John did own that vehicle. He's dead now. So now, who owns that vehicle? Or let's say I die and I have a credit card balance of $2,000. Who's responsible for that? Probate assigns that liability to someone, my estate.
Okay.
That's probate. It's not required that you have to go through probate.
Okay.
There are ways to avoid probate. The people in the probate office are very nice people, but if we can avoid dealing with the government, that's best.
Okay.
Right? So I can talk about different ways to avoid probate, such as a revocable trust, life insurance beneficiaries, retirement beneficiaries. There are a lot of ways that we can avoid probate. You're not required to go through it.
All right, a lot to think about. If somebody wants to learn more information or get in contact with you at Long Law Firm, how can they do that?
You can give us a call at 843-488-2810, or you can find us on the web at longlawconway.com.
This portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Long Law Firm.
Well, we have got our apron on today because we are at the Art Museum of Myrtle Beach. I'm joined by Colin. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. Let's go ahead and get into it. What are we doing today?
So today we have these stuffed paper sculptures of musical instruments. It's inspired by our exhibit, Lifting Black Voices. We have one of the galleries in the show has an entire gallery full of paintings and artwork that is inspired by jazz and music. So this is a pretty simple project, but still it gives you really cool results. So the first step for this is you're gonna print out either some type of musical instrument, it could be whatever you'd like. We have some tubas here. And after you print them out, you're gonna cut them out, and then you're gonna get another sheet of paper, and you're gonna trace the outline of the instrument.
Okay.
So you just go around, and it doesn't have to be nice and neat. You can do it a little quick, you can do a little sketchy, which I like to do.
I'm very focused right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it didn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, sketching it takes a lot of focus, more focus than you think.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, once you have that all sketched out, you'll end up cutting it out.
Okay.
But thankfully, we already have these two examples already cut out.
Yay!
So yeah,
I can skip that step. Yay! Okay.
So yeah, once you cut them out, you will have, of course, two pieces of paper, and what you want to do is first staple half the papers together. So I did it kind of a little strategic spot so we can still kind of have some areas where we can end up stuffing the paper in there. So I did some like at the top, and I just did some of the sides too, leaving openings up here and also here at the bottom as well. But after you get it stapled together, you get to decorate it. And
okay.
Of course, this is completely up to the artist how you would want to decorate it, using whatever colors, whatever types of patterns. It's completely up to you.
Let's do it.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, school is back in session today. I am joined by Joyelle. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're talking dog training 101 today.
Yes.
You're the professional. You're going to give me the full rundown here, the nitty gritty. What are some tips that you have for new dog owners or someone who has a dog that is not trained very well?
Sure. The very first thing that I would absolutely say that I hear all the time is I ask the question, do you use a crate with your dog? And I hear, well, when they were a puppy, they're fine now. That's the same statement I hear all the time. They're fine now. But here's the thing. There's such a misconception around crate training or using a crate with your dog. What a crate does is it provides a safe zone for your dog. Think about like having a bedroom. You have a bedroom, the crate is your dog's bedroom. It provides a space for them to go, for them to decompress, for their brain to shut down, for them to get the proper rest that they need. Especially for dogs who are constantly with your owners. As you know, with COVID, lots of people went home, okay? They didn't go back into the office, they're working remote now. So a dog that is 100% with their family day in and day out, when that family leaves, the dog loses their minds. So the dog gets that separation anxiety. They have a hard time separating away from their family. So what a crate does is it starts to build into the independence of a dog. So I would say top of the line, no matter what. I always tell my owners when they call me, when they're inquiring about training and they're having these issues, do you use a crate with your dog? 100% I educate them on the importance of going back to using a crate, not just to keep them from using the bathroom in the house or from chewing on the furniture, but from giving them space to totally decompress and to get the rest that they need and to separate from the family a bit. So that's 100% crate train your dog. Okay?
I will say my dog actually likes going in the crate now. He'll go in the crate by himself.
Yeah.
And that's just where I'll find him sometimes. It's nice.
Right. And just like you and I were speaking about one of your dogs that has an issue with thunderstorms, the crate absolutely 100% helps with that.
Perfect.
Okay.
What about begging?
Oh, nice.
When it comes to food. It's so hard as an owner to not feed your dog table scraps, but I know what you're going to say.
Yes. 100% do not do that because they will not eat their food. All right. So here's what I say. There are certain things that you can feed your dogs. So when I'm doing a puppy class, that is what I go through with my owners. The things that I say that you can actually give your dog that I think are fine as long as their digestive system can handle it. Baby carrots. Now, if you have small dogs, you might want to cut it up or break it up. But little baby carrots, they love carrots. That's very good for them. They can have natural peanut butter. Make sure it's just peanuts. I like the natural. About 6 or 7 months ago, there was an article that came out that said some peanut butters are going to contain xylitol now.
Big no-no.
That's a big no-no. So always read your ingredients of your peanut butter. Make sure it's peanut butter, and if it has any sweetener, make sure it's either sugar or molasses, okay? So peanut butter that you can put in a Kong ball are perfect for them. Freeze it, it makes it like a pup cup for them, okay? So you can also do frozen blueberries, but I would only do that in your crate because you cannot get blueberry juice out of your carpet.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then you can do apples. Just make sure you cut the peeling off and get rid of the seeds and the core. Just do the fleshy part of the apple. So those are a few things that you can do that are people food, if you will, but they are great for dogs. The dogs really enjoy those types of things.
Love it.
Everything else, no.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.